Hi everyone, I'm Pedro Luferson and today we are drawing Pokemon, more specifically Torterra. This is actually going to be a mini project, a real quick project of just 4 parts. And the idea of this project is to draw Torterra if it was able to change the leaves and its colors according to the season it's in. And as you saw in the title, part 1 is going to be Summer. I chose Summer for part 1 because I wanted it to have the colors that are closer to the original design, so lots of green. Not only that, but for this illustration in particular, I'm trying some brushes that I've never tried before. I'm trying a lot of watercolors because in real life I'm not a big fan of watercolors, so I wanted to challenge myself a little bit, so why not try digital? I did have to do a bit of research to find the right watercolor brush that I wanted because they have so many effects depending on the brush you get. But this one, I'm really glad. I really like it. I think I'm going to use it throughout this whole series. Mini project actually. I choose Torterra because first of all, I really like this Pokemon. I think it's a beautiful Pokemon with such a unique concept. I really like it. I also feel like grass types, they have this innate potential that they can be anything depending on the climate, depending on the weather, because they are plants after all. And Torterra has a literal environment on its back, so even if you look it up in with other artists, there are so many possibilities with Torterra, like different terrains, different vegetation, and like changing the season is just like the first thing that came to my mind because it can be so much more. And like I think it can look so different because depending on the season of the year, the nature can look so different. So I was like, yes, Torterra is already an amazing Pokemon, quite an amazing concept. So like, let's make it even more incredible because if you like Pokemon, you know that the game is sometimes much slower than the fans. Like the fans create such an amazing ideas and such interesting concepts, and Pokemon takes a while to catch up with them, like what they did with the regional variants. So what if Torterra changes with the seasons? So like it's a very basic idea, but with so much potential, and that's why I wanted to tackle with this mini project. I felt the need to pick like very specific color palettes for each one of the Torterra videos. And since it's summer and I wanted to like not reference, but like get closer and stay in the same territory as the classic Torterra, I went with a very green color palette. At this point in the drawing, I started making the grass around it. I wanted to be the very voluminous grass, like basically overgrown grass. Like summer is a very vanilla season when it comes to nature, like everything is just green and sunny. So I had to like exaggerate what I had in mind. So grass, make it as grown as possible, make it coming out of everywhere. And I also wanted to work a lot with the negative space, so like the grass in front, like the grass in the very front of the drawing, it's not actual grass, if you know what I mean, like it's the like it's invisible grass to get this idea of separation with the background. So it's like grass but transparent, white, you know, see-through, just to give it this cool idea, which looking at it right now reminds me of in older Pokemon games when we have like the circle around the Pokemon when you get in the battle scene, and it's in some games is a grass circle. So yeah, funny coincidence. Making the grass wasn't the easiest part because using a watercolor brush didn't make it easy for me. And basically I wasn't used to it, so it was me getting used to the brush, basically using it for the first time, like in a full drawing. And like it doesn't make like very thin pointy edges because the point of watercolors is to make big splashy spots, and like making like the tip of the grass leaf wasn't the easiest task because I wanted to make this effect, but at the same time I didn't want it to make too sharp because it would mischaracterize the watercolor. The pose Torterra is another thing that I paid a lot of attention to. I actually did something that I never done before. Like I did thumbnails. For those who don't know, thumbnails is like an experiment. Like you make a lot of variations of the same character with different poses, different angles to see which one's best. Because sometimes we get attached to the first one, but if we do a lot of experiment and we try different things many times, we can get to some very interesting results that we wouldn't have gotten if we had stopped at the first attempt. So technically I already have the pose of all 4 seasons of Torterra. This is summer obviously, but I already have the pose that I want to have with autumn, winter and spring. They are all settled because I did a lot and I intentionally already did the ones for the next video. So yeah, it was a very useful exercise. I'm definitely going to be doing that again in the future. I'm going to be honest, up to that very point I wasn't feeling like the drawing was working. I think where the colors were really dull, I wasn't enjoying it. But then I started adding the lights, as you can see, and I was like, oh yes, that was the drawing I was expecting, because I was like, the colors are so dull, the composition has no depth. I wasn't feeling, but the sunlight came and made everything work. I think I have mentioned before in another video that I think lighting is my favorite part because it gives the drawing and the illustration such a life, like such a contrast. They're like, yes, now you are alive, now you are existing, now you have so much I don't even know how to say it, but like it highlights the the good characteristics and the good trait of the drawing, and it makes it just more interesting because there's an extra element. And the colors, the new interactions with the colors are so beautiful when you get it right, I mean. But yeah, obviously with summer I had to put sunlight at some point, so I decided to put it at the end because I like to make all the details, the base details before. So when the sunlight came for the summer, it made total sense that with the sunlight everything made sense and everything was well finally. I mentioned before that green was the first color that came to mind, and yeah, that was right when I thought of making this drawing. But also yellow, it's another color that was like, yeah, makes completely sense. Let's put a lot of yellow because summer, sunlight, yeah, you know. And if you take a closer look, especially like in the mountains on its back and on the bottom part of the leaves of the tree, you can see a lot of bit of blue that you can argue it's the light from like the actual sky, not the sun, but like the actual sky, how shadows get blue. But yeah, that was a bit of it, but mostly because this blue looks very good with green, like they are like colors that are very close to each other. But I wanted to give like this blue light because it would create a nice contrast. Like the shadows have this blue glow, and I feel like in some scenarios, blue is also a summer color. Yellow, green, and blue, the, the Brazilian colors, the colors of the Brazilian flag, maybe. But it was mostly because I feel like it's very summer-like colors. And as you can see on the screen, I had the idea of adding a lot of moss to its shell and actually its whole body. I'm adding a lot of moss because I thought, wow, what if the blue wasn't just actually a beautiful color, but like it resembles the humidity of the summer and the excess of humidity and water and the heat made moss grow on Torterra, which makes perfect sense. Like sunlight, heat. So like yeah, the grass is already overgrown, and so let's put a bit of grass on its shell and moss all over its body. So I was like, wow. When the idea came just at the right moment, was like, yeah, that looks very cool. I really enjoy it. I think it's one of my favorite details, the overgrown grass and the overgrown moss on Torterra's skin and shell, because at the beginning, as I said, I wanted to make something that it was closer to the original Torterra, but at the same time, I wanted to give it an identity. Like it's summer, so but what can I do? So yeah, the moss came and I really enjoy it. Like it's the mark of this drawing for me. Another nice part that I liked of the grass and the moss growing on its back is like it's a bit of the nature of watercolors, like they bleed, not actually bleed, but like they get beyond the borders of the lines and everything. In real life, they can do that. So I wanted to, since like we're using on our watercolor brush, let's get just a bit abstract and like make the mouse not abstract actually, but like make it go beyond the line art that I drew of the Torterra and like make the the mouse like almost fluffy, growing beyond the borders of the lines and the grass also too. And yeah, you can see I was like putting details on the grass around it for a long time. I think it was one of the most like it demanded a bit of work because since they don't have like natural borders or lines delimiting where they should start or should end. So like yeah, I'm going to give a lot of attention to it because I didn't give much thought. Like I was just going for an abstract feeling, but also I want to give some resemblance of a coherent shape. So it can, like it's a circle, but it's also fading and kind of evaporating. But at the same time, it's grass. You can see that it's grass. So yeah, a lot of loose concepts that I had to adjust at the spot. Now I'm just giving a bit of attention to more moss because I really like the moss and the lights and the shadows and yeah. But like I just wanted to circle back to the pose. Like as I said, I chose a specific pose for each one of the seasons, and this pose in particular, the feeling I was having was like it's summer. Torterra is just enjoying the sunlight, to stimulating the chlorophyll on its leaves, and it was like when you wanted to take a nap with the sunlight hitting your face. So yeah, that's the vibe. He's not fully sleeping. He will sleep on another season. Just wait. He's like just enjoying the wind, the light, the sun, the vibe, the humidity of the air, and just relaxing this very chill season that summer is. Another thing that I had in mind, like one of the reasons I'm making this project is because I I wanted like a new background for my computer. So like the proportion and the size of this drawing is the exact size of my screen. So like it would fit perfectly, like a lot of white around, but in the very center, this very relaxing and beautiful painting. So yeah, it's a very selfish project. So like when I have all four of them, all the four seasons, they will like rotate, and it looks like the time is passing on the background of my computer. So yeah, yeah, that's mostly for me, and also because I always wanted to do something like that with Torterra. So yeah, everybody wins. At least I win. Overall, I would say that I'm enjoying like playing with this watercolor brush. I don't know if I would use it in any other situation. Like let's try something new, but I don't feel like I would like use in another project as besides this one, at least for now, because I'm just trying. But watercolor isn't my vibe. It's not really my vibe. Maybe for something more abstract, yes, but in a general scenario, no, I don't think that's my thing. In real life, even less than that, because I think it's too volatile. It's too difficult to control. So yeah, no, not my cup of tea. But I think it really suits the vibe of this drawing. So for this whole project, watercolor it is because it just looks so good. The watercolor has this very dreamy essence to it, so I think it suits this project as a whole very well because it's a very dreamy project. It's a very dreamy vibe, especially this one that is almost taking a nap. So yeah, I'm gonna appreciate watercolor at least for now, at least for this project. So yeah, I'm very satisfied with this actually. So that's how it turns out, and I'm really happy with it. I really like it. I'm already using it as the background for my computer, so you know that it worked because I'm very happy when I turn on my computer and I look at this beautiful painting illustration. I honestly think that the sunlight did all the work I needed for this illustration. Like the yellow light of the yellow sunlight did make everything look better. So I at least already know that in the next Pokemon videos, like with this Torterra, if I'm not feeling like it because the colors are a bit off, maybe just wait for the lighting. The light will may solve everything. I don't know. We'll see. But I would say that my favorite parts of this drawing are the overgrown grass and moss growing on it and the tree. I didn't stress this enough. I like how big the leaves on the tree, like the actual leaves on the tree, they are so much larger than in the original Torterra if you look at the sprite. And I just love this detail. Like it's so the summer is so powerful and so I don't know fertile that made the tree grow very large. And well, that's it for this video. I'm really enjoying this because these videos are very much more chill to make than the Minecraft series. These are very time consuming. I can do in a matter of days, like 2 days for the illustration, 1 day just to record the audio and edit it. So they are very easy to make, they are very chill, and it's nice to break the routine of Minecraft mob, and do something more relaxing in a way, because the whole process is very relaxing actually, because it has its own rules. So that's it for today, guys. Tell me in the comments down below what you thought of my illustration. I really like to hear your opinions and what you hope to see in the next seasons of Torterra. They shouldn't take that long to come out because again they're pretty easy to make, but they won't come out immediately because you know the same old story. I'm trying to juggle the other projects that I want to bring to the channel and also personal life, yada yada. But anyways, they will happen sooner than later, believe me. go watch some of the other videos of my channel. If you like Pokemon, I have a couple of Pokemon videos here, like talking about the Gen 10 starters and redesigning some bad Mega Evolutions, so you can check this out, and see you guys next time. Subscribe to not miss out on the next videos I'm gonna post and the next Pokemon videos I'm gonna post, and until then, bye!